This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by AmazonHerb.net/AmazonAlive. AmazonHerb.net/AmazonAlive. Dave Ridley here, signing in for RidleyReport.com this March 23rd, 2008. Breaking news over at nhfree.com today. Winston Churchill once said something of the Germans, which I will now say of the New Hampshire Senate. What kind of people do they think we are? Is it possible they do not realize that we shall never cease to persevere against them until they have been taught a lesson which they and the world will never forget? What has the New Hampshire Senate done that is so wicked as to trigger rare invocations of Munich and Auschwitz? Well, they have done this. They've placed a rare last-minute amendment into one of their bills. The amendment would ask New Hampshire's governor to request, you guessed it, a real ID extension. Here's the exact wording of the amendment. Real ID extension. The governor or designate is requested to apply for an extension from the federal government of the deadline for compliance with the Real ID Act. Such a request shall not constitute participation in Real ID in violation of state law. The governor or designate may request the assistance of the New Hampshire federal delegation in securing the necessary extension. End quote.
Okay, but you won't be asking for an extension.
We have not asked for an extension.
So that means Smiley here, who claims to be a Real ID opponent, would be encouraged to cast aside all his goodwill from privacy advocates, throw away all the advantages of his position, and bow down before Skeletor, also known as Michael Chertoff from the creepy Department of Homeland Security. Now, at this point, maybe I should provide a little more background. Real ID is a controversial federal program that would force the states to implement expensive and rigid new driver's license standards. States that do not comply would face retaliation against their citizens. New Hampshire citizens, for instance, would be banned from certain federal buildings and commercial aircraft unless they showed a passport or submitted to a potentially humiliating pat-down. New Hampshire's legislature has passed a law forbidding the state from giving in to these federal threats, and some politicians here have tried to weasel around the law. But even communicating with Homeland Security about this draws angry reactions from masses of New Hampshire residents. Governor Lynch once got 9,000 letters complaining about Real ID.
Is it safe to assume that you won't be corresponding with Homeland Security again?
Even communicating with the feds on this triggers a perception of weakness that isn't in our best interest. Last month, Governor Lynch sent a letter to Skeletor, which did not request an extension, but did ask Homeland Security to leave us alone. Even that relatively innocuous letter was seized on by national media and portrayed as a break with the other three rebel states. This amendment, were it to pass into law, would be perceived as an outright surrender by the state government. According to Seth Cohn from the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance, last-minute amendments of this type only occur once or twice per year, and they are frowned on. Who is behind the amendment? I don't know, but I bet by the time you see this clip, the folks at NH Free will have an answer. Just click on the link in this video description for latest updates. What can you do about this? Well, again, click on the appropriate link in the video description. That will have all the who, what, where, when, why. Basically, folks are asking you to appear at the hearing for this backstab bill on Tuesday, March 25th. This is Dave Ridley about to sign out for RidleyReport.com, but first... Remember those tireless Ron Paul activists who came to New Hampshire for Operation Live Free or Die? Well, one of them is Debby of Florida. Not only did Debby fight for your freedom here in New Hampshire this January, she's now a sponsor of your favorite show, The Ridley Report. Debby invites you to sample the exotic natural herbs of the Amazon Power Shake, Pure Camus, and a lot of other things that I want to eat, but can't pronounce. The natives of the Amazon need trading partners for sustainable commerce. Head to the video description for this clip, click on Debby's link,
to learn more about the importance of the Amazon and the benefits of Amazon herbs.
AmazonHerb.net/AmazonAlive. AmazonHerb.net/AmazonAlive.